Hey, I'm Kev, Mr. Car. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the manager. Career has. People have spoken after the last episode, even though there's a couple of people who thought, McDonald should stay, maybe win the Moto3 Championship. I was starting to lean towards that as well, as you perhaps heard in the videos, but it's time for McDonald to get his big boy pants on and step up to the Moto2 Championship. We are getting this, Calex. We're choosing our sponsors as well. We got no sponsor. We got no objectives to the side. Is this another glitch milestone? What have you done with this last update? You've broken it. But we always choose Stanley. Should we go with a different sponsor? Well, we had Alpine Stars as well, didn't we? And we switched to Mahindra. So let's go with, I believe, the Swiss watch manufacturer. Am I correct? I must think of another manufacturer as well. Colours. I always like it bright. Even though this colour doesn't... It says the main colour. It barely affects delivery. Well, let's get the old yellow on. Go for yellow chrome. Nah, we're not that classy. We're just stepping up. Just learning about this class. Let's go with opaque. Colour 2. Now, this isn't like the main colour, is it? No, not quite. But again, we like our blue. If I can select the right blue, if I can remember it. There we go, that's the right blue, isn't it? And in wheel rim colour. So we go with the blue. Not the biggest fan of that livery though. What other liveries can we choose? Oh, livery 2 is pretty good. Look how colourful that is. There we go, we're bringing the colour back into Moto 2. So that's our bike selected, livery selected, chose our sponsor, confirm our Moto 2 bike. And now we've got to perhaps confirm the rider, don't we? Have I just got a Moto 2 bike for no reason? Let's look at reputation rise already. We can get a Suzuki. How much reputation do we need for the top tiers? Or around 100,000 it looks like. So rider performance. That is McDonald. So we've got Mahindra. Oh, can I not select someone for the bike? Are you kidding? Is it only at the beginning and end of seasons we can change the riders? That's ridiculous. Come on, Milestone. Is this Kumar? Overall 70%. Is that more than McDonald? No, 74%. Still ridiculous, isn't it? We could maybe up his crew. See if that does something. See if he scores points, shall we? Here you go, Kumar. Have a nice boost for the next few rounds. The other bikes signed without riders. You will not be able to race in this category until the next season. Because I can't select a rider, god damn it. I definitely cannot select a rider, can't I? I just want to make sure. So it looks like I'm sticking in Moto 3 anyway, winning the championship. Sorry, people. Being able to change bike until the next transfer window. So there's only talk about Moto 3 bikes. I thought if I could change to Moto 2, it might automatically move McDonald. Obviously not, though. I thought I'd open up the slots here and it forced me to change, but I guess not. This isn't a real transfer window then, is it? If all you can do is change the bike. But we're definitely going to save up for a MotoGP bike. 1.3 million credits though. 2 million for the Ducati, which I would love to have. The Ducati is definitely the bike I'm going to aim for. I do love the old Ducati. Suzuki a bit down this year. Not sure about that. And Aprilia and KTM, well, you need work. don't you? Well, Honda and Yamaha right at the top. But I'd love to be the old Dovey in that title battle with MacDonald. So it looks like we got to win the Moto3 Championship this year and then step up to Moto2 next season. I do apologise to people in the comments. I thought it would just open up the space, but obviously it didn't do that. So here we are, going to Catalonia this episode then, the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. Can MacDonald continue his winning streak? So here we are on Old Faithful then, in Spain for the second time this season. Our first visit to Jerez didn't quite go to plan. Let's see if we can have a much better time around a circuit where we have been very good with MacDonald, been very at home. And hopefully this is the only time we see the bikes use the old F1 layout. They've moved back the stand to that left-hand side there, giving a bit more runoff in the corner. So hopefully to keep riders a bit more safe. I like what they're talking about, the Red Bull Ring in real life. This was recorded the Monday after the races there. One Mir did something again in Moto3. I think he's around over 2 race wins now ahead of Fenati. Spaniard is definitely going to win the title, like he's the reigning champ here as well. And he definitely does deserve it. I know Fenati's been around that category a while now. And it's been a very good redemption year from the Italian, who we know is going to step up to Moto2 next season with his team. Finally, he should have been in Moto2 already this season. But of course, he had an altercation in the middle of last season, which got him sacked from the BR46 Valentino Rossi, Sky Italia team. But Fenati's done a great job this year rebuilding his reputation. But Mir's done an even better one, cementing his as one of the best young guns around motorcycle racing. And it is very difficult to do that nowadays, very competitive in every championship. Let's look at Moto3 races most of the time. You have like 15 riders separated by a second at times. It's ridiculous, and that's like the end of races. Like you can see that at Mugello, or even Brno as well. He gets very close. And then in Moto2 we saw Morbidelli and Marquez run away at the front for Marc Vidiers. Morbidelli, who we know is going to ride for that team in MotoGP next season, it like he's going to win the title. But Alex Marquez will perhaps have to wait for next season to win the Moto2 title, which I definitely think he's capable of now. Wasn't so sure the previous years in Moto2, but he's definitely stepped it up this year as Alex. And very good to see. And the younger Marquez. And of course in MotoGP, it went crazy. But we're going to talk about that in the race. Let's look at the session info. Let's see where Dan MacDonald is qualified. As I forgot to do this thing with the skipping, didn't I? But look, it means he qualifies in his best position so far this season, in the 5th row. See him on the first page as Jorge Martin grabbed pole. Ahead of Mir and Canet and all Spaniard front row. Bulaga, Fenati and McPhee on the 2nd row, and an all Italian 3rd row. Get your drinks out. Might have to add an all Spaniard front row to that. At least for Moto3 for the rest of the season. Then in Moto2 is a bit different. But very good to see MacDonald up there in 13th alongside Nodin and Loy Alert. Top Peugeot's Kornfeld in 18th. Top next best Mahindra is Dale Porter in 20th. It's looking further down. Where's our teammate? 29th. That boost certainly has helped him by around half a second. Not a lot, but at least he's not on the back row for once. Let's see if we can move forward in the race, as well as MacDonald. So here we are, looking at a beautiful grid here. Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, beautiful conditions as well for a motorbike race. It says Bashani ran out the top 10. Hotel and Rodrigo. Remember, Rodrigo, he starts slow, just like Guevara, who leads the 6th row. Let's looking further back. There's Bind on the 8th row, always looking happy. It's the South African. There's Boho and Arenas. Back together on the 9th row. There's Kuma, not on the last page of the grid. A 10th row?
Everything's ready for the race to start now. We're just waiting for those lights to go out, and the riders will take these last few seconds to focus on the race ahead.
Yes, we are definitely focusing on DJ Antonio. Is that right in front of us? Just wait for the lights to appear. And go out for this 6th lap race. We've definitely got a good start. I told you Rodrigo starts slow. And now we're going to get in the slipstream and try and make some moves into this first corner. And it looks like Bassini's falling back. We've got extreme slipstream. Looking down the middle is MacDonald. Oh, he's easing down the inside of McPhee. It's normally the other Scot, which is the first starter, but this time it is the Mahindra rider into the top 5 already. And oh, he runs a bit wide though through turn 3. Definitely not flat like the F1 cars around there. And then braking just for that shadow. And the bridge, and then waiting to get on the throttle. Have we got 2 Sky Tail riders in the top 4 here? Or is that just Canet in front? It is Canet. We've got the 3 Spaniards at the front. We've got Bulliger in front. As Martin has lost the lead to Mir. Goes ahead of Canet. We've got Fanati and McPhee battling behind. Go down the second gear there. Or first gear. I don't even know what gear I'm on. Oh, you lose it on the first lap. MacDonald is easing it down the inside. Bulliger. Oh, you don't want to make a move into Cancer. Being ambitious on this first lap is MacDonald. But the race will come to him. It's definitely a race he's good at. That's all, he runs slightly wide in the hairpin note. Now go up the hill. You can see the top 4 all on top of each other. Could just ease back here and save the tyres. Even though tyre wear not really an issue anymore in this class or on this Mahindra. We're going to the final chicane, looking to the outside of Bulliger. Totally didn't go off track. No, the Italian eases up in the middle of the corner. What the hell? And that's what they'll go round the outside. And John into the Spanish train. And look at it, they're going 3 wide down the front straight as Martin leads across the line. John did the fast lap now, opening up a 2-minute 3. Jamaica around 60 metres before the first corner. Dives down the inside of Martin. Also dives down the inside of Canet as well. Mir from 3rd has jumped into the lead. The power of the slipstream round here. Incredible. Is Dan MacDonald looking around the outside, is he? Well, he's definitely got a run. And Mir's holding up Canet. Donald squeezes by. Look at this, the wall of death on the outside. It's something like you see in IndyCar. Going down the inside, Canet, is he? Oh, his arch rival not having that. We've got an intriguing battle here on the second lap between the top 3 in the championship. Or who should be the top 3 in the championship. And he gets almost into the back of Canet there. Martin's holding on in 4th. John had some battles with Martin round here in the past as well. We've gone to the back straight. Camps and not my corner. Still don't know where to say that in 2nd and 3rd gear. And we're in our 4th season, aren't we? I'll figure it out once I get into MotoGP probably. It's all taking lots of apex speed there, but that means we're not taking much exit speed as Canet takes the lead from Mir. So the double champ overtakes the reigning champ. And now here comes the future champ maybe. Sticking again in that chicane. Oh, he likes the chicane, doesn't he, MacDonald? Cutting back on Mir. Some classy manoeuvres from MacDonald in that chicane. He moves up to 2nd and now got the slipstream of Canet as Nuruddin went down. Disappointing for the Malaysian of 56.8 from Canet. I think MacDonald went a bit faster, just by a 10th of a second. Breaking the touch earlier and on the previous lap, but look how much easier that is into the apex of the corner. MacDonald takes the lead on his 3rd lap and uses way too much curb and some. Or is he going to hold on to the lead? Wrong gear in there. Need to switch it down to 2nd briefly. He brakes a bit early. Into the right hander.
as Mir overtakes Canet behind. Mir's definitely the king of the first sector between that pair. But then Canet grabs it back in that final sector. We're interested to see how that battle to and fro's. We've so often seen in the past, Mir and Canet just ride by themselves at the front. And sometimes with MacDonald in front of them. And this time it looks like they're having a war behind. Because MacDonald's having a war with the track limits there. Just about one. Nah, got to take that in second, don't I? And maybe going in third, get it down to second for some of the engine braking. And flip it up to third, almost immediately onto that back straight. There's all getting squee on that rear tyre. Mere holes in the gap in that middle sector. Very interesting to see. As we go into the halfway mark of this race. I think the grandstand's packed. Catalonia is definitely one of the most popular venues in the Canada. You could say that about all the Spanish rounds, really, apart from Aragon, maybe. Definitely Jerez, Valencia, of course, being the season finale. No doubt that's going to be popular. It's over halfway through this race, and MacDonald leads and sets the fast at 55.4, easing away from Mir by 1.5 seconds on that lap. Should break around 70 metres into that opening corner, and unlike the previous lap, we go wide because we kept it in second gear, like an idiot. The Canet's now back by Mir, takes back almost half a second in that opening sector. Maybe just a couple of corners, but if you make a mistake like that, it's going to cost you big time. So where was I before there was actual racing in this race? Oh yeah, we were talking about MotoGP around the Red Bull Ring. And what an epic duel between Marc Marquez, the Kid Wonder, the reigning champ. The guy who's going to break all the record books, isn't he? And Andrea Dovizioso, the saviour of Ducati this season, the servant to the Red Machine. He's finally being rewarded with a title battle with Marc Marquez and Maverick Vinales and Valentino Rossi and even little Danny Pedrosa. Danny boy is hanging on there. The top 5 separated by 35 points. As we're into the second half of the season, of course, it's so close, so unpredictable at the front. At least in the early part of the season, it's kind of settled down in recent races. You see Marquez always up there. You see Dovi up there, unless he calls his own strategy, then he's a bit way down. Like we saw in Brno. We've seen Danny being incredibly consistent. Got so many podiums this year, Danny. He may not have the outright pace, like Marquez, like Vinales, like Dovi on occasion has shown on that Ducati. But he's so consistent at the moment. He's hanging on in the latter part of races, which we didn't really see. Past couple of years, of course, he's had his arm pump issues. Danny had lots of injury issues as well in the past, but so delighted to see that he's right up there. He just gets a couple of wins, he'd be really up there, Danny. Just needs Marquez to be off the podium for a couple of races, or Dovi as well. And that's the same for Rossi as well, who's just 2 points ahead of Danny. And then Maverick, who's just a few points ahead of his teammate and he's about a race win behind. And the gap from Marquez to Dovi is 16 points, I believe. I think my mouse is correct. As in the race, Mir's actually holding his gap and holding off Canet for a second. Back to real life. Incredible battle we have for the MotoGP Championship. And in part it's because of the Michelin's being so unpredictable, like we saw with Pirelli in 2012. We had that ridiculous start to the season that we'll probably never see again in F1 because it was just a tyre lottery. That's all it really came down to. That's what we're seeing with MotoGP. At the moment, this season, I mean, I wouldn't even rule out, say, a Tech 3 winning the race with how Volga and Zarco have gone at times this season. Psychopath should have won in Qatar, but I guess his pace would have dropped in the second half of the race. He probably would have fallen back to just a podium, but even so, podium on your debut in MotoGP, nothing to scoff at. MacDonald goes on to the final lap with a 2-second lead over Canet, who's got ahead of Mir. They get in that final sector, I told you. It's close between that pair. Oh yeah, incredibly excited for MotoGP. It's not just MotoGP this season. You've got incredible battles almost in every motorsport discipline. In WRC, between Neuville and Ogier. In F1, between Hamilton and Vettel. In NASCAR, between everyone because of their ridiculous point system and playoff system. In all 3 top-tier divisions as well. In British touring cars, you have, around 5 guys battling for the title and that as well. Like Colin Turkington, Ash Sutton. Jason Plato's finally turned up this season and won a race. All crazy things happening. Of course, Gordon Sheddon's up there. Got Rob Collard as well. Could the older guy finally get up? Finally clinch a crown? Matt Jackson. Well, he's a bit down, isn't he? But, you know. So that weird tyre is a bit baked. Look at it in the bottom right. Got hot temperatures and it's around 2/3 done, but we're on the final lap. We can just ease it home here, Dan MacDonald. I haven't been pushing that hard, but the rear tyre, not liking it at all. We're lucky this is the final lap. Another lap, could be in trouble. They'll be using first gear a bit too much to get the traction out of those slow corners, but it doesn't matter, as MacDonald will cross the line and win in Catalonia. He's looking imperious at the moment, isn't he? The Scot and the Elusive rider at the front, but 2.5 seconds ahead of Mir, who won that battle with Canet by a 10th of a second. Budiga in 4th, who wins that battle by a 10th of a second from Martin. Magello, who wins his battle by it's 4/10 of a second from Fanati. Got carried away there. Otel in 8th, who won his battle by 0.8 of a second from Bashini. He won his battle by 0.3 of a second from Antonelli. As Rodrigo in 13th, good finish for the Argentine rider ahead of Ramirez on home turf, and Lloyd grabbing the final point ahead of Binder by less than a second. As where did our teammate finish? 26th. He moved forward in the race. His lap times are respectable. Only 17 seconds back. That's pretty decent for him. As Noah did. Look at that, down in 32nd. Bo in last. Disappointing from the Dutchman. So in the championship, that means MacDonald leads by 14 points from Canet, with Mir dropping back in 3rd, 33 points back for the reigning champ, with McPhee and Martin 11 points in 4th, with Budiga climbing ahead of his fellow Italian Fanati in standings to 6th by 2 points. Otel rounds out the top 10. As further down, we've got Ramirez jumping ahead of Nuruddin, who had a day to forget for the Malaysian, as he drops down to 16th. And climbing up to 19th in the stands is Rodrigo, as he's finally scored points this season as the Argentine rider ahead of Sasaki and Suzuki, as 21 riders scored so far this season. As looking further down, our teammates dropped down to 30th as Bezecchi and Arenas has climbed above him. As in the constructors standings, just 12 points separates Mahindra and Honda, with KTM falling back 47 points back as Peugeot are yet to score. And yes, there's a happy MacDonald. He's getting used to this feeling, isn't he? If he didn't make mistakes in Jerez and the Circuit of the Americas, you never know, he could have won every race so far this season. He's got Jorge Martin, 996 in the 125cc category to unlock in a couple race wins at time. But look at that for MacDonald. Perfect. Well, for Kumar, he moved forward. Oh, he's just one race of the race of Jet, so that would have helped us towards our 1.3 million goal, or 2 million goal, isn't it? They're so close. Come on, Kumar, step it up. As he does improve his throttle management and body position, while MacDonald improves almost everything apart from his throttle management. And a healthy dose of credits and reputation earned as well. And before we go, we've got an activity day to do. We can go to the gym and do some muscle building for our riders, improve their throttle control by 20% in the next race, do some high society stuff, improve our reputation by 500, do some social networking, earn a reputation bonus for the next race if you choose sponsor objectives of 100%, or go to the gym, improve the abs and back muscles for our riders, and improve their core ability by 100 XP. So it's either improve our riders or reputation. I think I'm going to go with the reputation and do the social network. I think I'll earn more than the high society. So next time out, we'll be heading to the classic TT Circuit Assen for the TT Assen Grand Prix. Can Dammit continue the streak? Can Kuma achieve the race objective? Find out next time. South watching. I will see you then.